Okay, hello. This is the pitch presentation for Dr. Dash, a game by DeadPixel Games. So that didn't work. So a brief synopsis of the game. It's a top-down competitive maze crawler. So between 2 and 4 players must compete to get to the patient first. So the patient's hidden somewhere in a maze, and the players have to find them. So they have to do this while avoiding or obstructing each other. They can do this with their special abilities. So it's just an example of a level. So each player will be equidistant from the patient, and they're going to have to find their way. In this, they're not attacking each other just because of the limitations of PowerPoint. Uh, so talking about target audience, Zeb.
Okay, so for target audience, there's 74% of gamers among the population are aged between 15 to 24, which meets the client's proposed target audience. But for our target audience, we are going to hit the top three according to ISFE, Interactive Software Federation Europe. So between 6 to 24, so we have a broader range to hit. There's a more higher percentage of female gamers, according to the puzzle genres, according to Entertainment Software Association 2016. So there could be a potentially small percentage of male gamers that enjoy puzzle-related games, and so we're making ours more gender neutral. 42% of gamers frequently play with friends, so online games. So our game will be split screen, and potentially in the future, if we do get any chance, we could implement multiplayer for online, and they could play with across screens, so it'd be broader, so not on one screen, as it says on the ISFE as well. 26% play competitive on the same screen, but there's a 17% that play on different screens, so that would be quite a good range to hit for our audience. But Night Squad is a similar game. It's a top-down multiplayer competitive game ranging between 1 to 8 players. They battle friends and strangers online. You can pick up weapons in Night Squad, which you can have like laser guns and bows and arrows, and you can fight your enemies or accomplish a task. It's quite similar to our game because it's 2 to 4 players in ours, and it's a top-down maze crawler, which you can fight the other players, or you can try and avoid them if you want to, and try and reach the patient. So Pac-Man is another arcade game. It's top-down. Everyone is kind of well known for Pac-Man. Pac-Man eats the eggs, and you've got like the 4 eggs or 5 eggs on this screen, which you eat, and then the ghost you can eat the ghost because they turn blue and start running away from you. It's quite similar because the player has to navigate the maze, as I said before, but the player has their own unique abilities, which you can refer to as Pac-Man eggs, which is quite good because you can use your ability to kill the enemy.
So moving on to prototypes.
So our initial prototype was a 2D, two-player top-down stealth puzzle game, where the basic objective was you had to find artifacts hidden throughout the level and return those to a patient and stand and heal the patient with the item. And the main questions from our risk analysis that brought on our next prototype were how does the player know which items are correct for the patient? Why are the guards trying to stop the player? And how would the player be engaged while attending the patient? So looking at those questions and carrying on our prototype iterations, we then developed a 2 to 4 player competitive top-down maze game, where the objective was just to find the patient, so there were no more artifacts. And then again, from risk analysis, we looked at can the players attack each other, just to add another element of gameplay, and will there be any indicators on the floor to help the player navigate from the patient. So this look at our final prototype is a 2 to 4 player competitive top-down maze game. The players will each have their own unique ability, and each player will also have their own heartbeat, which they'll have to manage. The heartbeat will increase as they move and also increase at a higher rate when sprinting. If players come across each other in the level, they'll be able to use their abilities to slow down or obstruct each of the other players to try and give themselves an advantage to reach the patient in the fastest time possible and win.